everyone, it is Tara from Dauphin Public Library, one of the libraries in the Parkland Regional Library System. I'd like to acknowledge that the land I am on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Anishinaabe, Métis, Oceti-Sakowin, Dene, Ochakri, Cree, and it is Treaty 2 land. Okay, we're here to do a science experiment today, a food science experiment. I guess we are going to do a bouncy egg. So once again, this is a project that we probably would never do in the library because it does take about 48 hours to do. So this is one of the fun things that we get to try out and do because things are a little different this year. Okay, what you need is possibly a wide mouth jar, which is what I've got. So I've got a lid. But if there's a few of you doing it in your household, apparently you can do it like in a big bowl or a glass. Whatever you've got to make this work should work all right. Just don't do a narrow opening jar, because apparently the egg is going to increase in size. So you need an egg, jar, or bowl or glass, and of course you need vinegar. To add to this project, I am also going to take measurements of the egg, and I'm going to weigh the egg. And when I was researching this, I saw one that I've never seen before, and it said we could dye the egg. So I've got some food coloring here that we're gonna add to the vinegar and see what happens. I've never done this experiment at all before. Everything I've read tells me that I should do up a couple because they can break and it might not work, so you should have backup ones. But I'm gonna take a chance and only do one. Just because. If you want to do a couple different ones and do them differently, color them different colors, or leave it plain so that you can see inside the egg, because I believe it makes it kind of naked. The shell disappears. So if you don't put coloring in it, then you can see through the egg. So that would make it a little more interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna change the angle of the camera, I think, so that you can get closer to see what I'm doing with the measurements and stuff. Okay, so let's see about weighing this. Okay, I'm gonna get this into camera view. So of course you don't have to do this part if you don't have a scale at home. I'm just curious how it might change, and I do have a scale. So I'm doing it in pounds right now. We're gonna change it to 0. Oh, I don't think I need the bowl. I don't think the egg will roll off. Let's see. Okay, so pounds. It is 0.121. Let's see. Let's change the unit. Grams. Let's do it in grams. It is 55 grams. Okay. Now we're going to measure it. Now I am lucky enough, I have calipers at home. So we're going to measure its length. It is 54.23 millimeters. So 54.23 is what it said. And its width is 41.94. 41.94. Does it change it if we go there? No. Oh, that is wider. Okay. Right there, 42.3. Okay. Well, we've got complete measurements of the egg. So now we just need to put it in some vinegar. Okay, so we are going to put the egg gently, slide it down gently in there. Pour some vinegar in. Make sure it covers it. So it did say that it might float. So mine is floating. Maybe it's not totally floating. Not sure if you can see, there's a bunch of bubbles already forming on it, so there's already a chemical process taking place. Okay, and now I'm going to add some blue food coloring. Okay, I thought maybe just the tip of my knife, it would work. Got a little bit of blue in there. Just scrape it off on the egg. Okay, just gonna try to... Okay, I've got a toothpick now, so I'm gonna hopefully drip some of my wonderful gel food coloring in here. Okay, that blue's looking much more vivid now. My egg is fully submerged. Okay, so there we go. Whoops, sorry, too high up. There's my egg. So, the first 24 hours of soaking, I'm gonna have the food coloring in it. And then after 24 hours, you actually need to replace your vinegar because a chemical process has taken place and the acid isn't going to be working the same way, so you need to carefully dump this out and switch it in for new vinegar. Okay, welcome back. It is now 24 hours later and we have some changes going on. So if you can see, there's like this foamy stuff at the top. That is part of the process. Basically, the chemical reaction has been taking place and it is dissolving the eggshell. So what we need to do after the 24 hours is switch out the vinegar because the vinegar, the acid has been eating away at the eggshell, and the foam on top I believe is kind of the eggshell or parts of the eggshell. I'm not a scientist. So and what's left basically is kind of water. So that's why we need to change it out so that the process can continue and that we can fully dissolve the eggshell and get a naked bouncy egg. So, okay, like in there. It's just, okay. I'm finding it really cool, but you know me, I get nerded out by all this fun stuff. Okay, so when we do this, we have to be careful because the egg is pretty delicate at this point. So when draining off the vinegar, the old vinegar, we have to be very careful not to break the egg. So we will see how this goes. Okay. Okay, so nothing I watched really told me anything other than the fact that I had to be careful while draining this out. So, okay, super cool. Can you see in there? Look at that. That is cool. Okay. By the way, I have chosen to wear a black shirt today because I figured that I might end up with some blue food coloring on me, and figured black would be good. So if you have dyed your egg or are trying to dye your egg as well and have food coloring, then make sure you're not wearing your best shirt. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay. It didn't tell me if I was supposed to rinse it off or anything, or just... Whoa, careful. Okay, look in there. Can you see that? Okay, how do I need to angle? There we go. I think, is that focusing? Okay, so cool. Okay, whoa. It's flopping around in there pretty good. I don't think I'm going to rinse this off. It did not say to do that. So I think I'm just going to add the vinegar at this point. I hope that's the right thing to do. We will find out in another 24 hours. Okay, is that is fully covered? It appears. Okay, so this time it said just to use, if you are coloring it, it said just to use vinegar. Don't bother putting color in at this point. So that is what I've done. I didn't add any more color, but because I didn't rinse, there's still definitely color in there, and there's still floaties in there, which I don't know if that's good or bad. That's why they call it an experiment. Okay. Well, and I don't think it actually needs a lid on it. Like I said, you could be using a bowl like this, although you'd use a lot of vinegar. You can use a glass, whatever you've got, as long as the egg is fully submerged in vinegar. And you can see that there's new reactions already starting to take place. I think the camera's maybe focusing in on that, maybe not. Okay, well, we will see you again in another 24 hours and see if this experiment worked. Thanks for tuning in.